Today we're gonna do something different. Today we're gonna talk about 4 Sonic games, plain and simple ones, to the worst and best ones. And what we're gonna look at is Sonic R. The only good thing about this game is the soundtrack. Raisin, however, not so fun. I only played this once because controlling the characters feels a bit like they're broken to control. Sure, you can choose Knuckles. Sure, you can skip almost likely higher levels. This is pretty much the cliches of all racing games. You just make sure you get enough rings and find a hidden area to unlock and collect Chaos Emeralds. And that's pretty much it. This is the whole game you do. You can control different characters besides Sonic that can run real fast. But the worst character of them all to control is Amy Rose, that she moves so slow. Oh, that's why she's in 5th place. The reason why I find this one to be like the worst game out there is the way they move a bit slow at times. But most levels doesn't even show you an arrow on where you're supposed to go. It's like one of those where the bleep do I go kind of games. Later on in the game you have to unlock newer characters like Middle Knuckles, which nobody remembers. There's the Tails doll. Metal Sonic and Super Sonic. It feels like the creators just ran out of ideas not use the other Sonic characters from other comic books. But I'll give this game some credit. The soundtrack is pretty cool. And you have to beat the time limit, yada yada. So I'll give this game credit. And I do like the music that you choose. But unfortunately I only played it once because of the bad controls. And I only played this one on GameCube. With the Sonic Jam Collection. But speaking of, next is Sonic Blast. Not to confuse the same title as Sonic 3D Blast, but this one is plainly called Blast. And boy is this one really bad. I remember playing this in a Sonic Jam Collection. This one's plain and simple. You're playing Sonic, as usual, while taking down Eggman from capturing all the wood critters. And that's pretty much it. As usual, you have to collect all the Chaos Emeralds to beat the game 100%. The reason why I find this game bad is the way Sonic moves in this game. Sure, you can still collect the rings so you can double jump. But since it's on the Master System, or Game Gear, it doesn't help on how much. Actually, there's not much else in the background, just playing with blue screen. And as usual, like every Sonic game, you have to fight Dr. Robotnik as the only boss. My younger self did enjoy playing this game, but after a while it gets kind of, in a word for it, boring. Music ain't that memorable or exciting, it just sounds pretty dull at times. Sure, you have enemies, but most of them will be basically the same thing. The reason why I find this game really boring is the fourth stage when you get to when, and the game doesn't show you how much time you have. Once you get to stage 4, you end up in a big huge maze. And I swear to GLD, this took me like forever, or about looking up on YouTube where you're supposed to go. This took me so long to figure out where I'm supposed to go. Oh, and I like Sonic's reaction. He's like, I'm going to die. There's not much else to say. See, this game is so boring in the way that Sonic moves so slow in this game. Sure, want to keep Sonic from drowning. So yeah, there's not much else to say. It's just pretty much a dull gameplay when he moves really slow. The music is pretty forgettable. So I give this game a 3 out of 10. It's just not one of my most favorite Sonic games out there, but still, it's just one of those classic platforming games that's either good or bad. This one deserves to be left behind, forgotten. Oh yeah, and I give Sonic R not to be one of the worst games out there, but a pretty average racing game, a 5 out of 10. Alright, next is this game. Sonic Republic, which I already heard lots of people say it's one of the worst games out there. In this one game, Sonic is trapped in Republic. Again, he's forced to move rather slowly, because Dr. Robotnik finally found a way to stop Sonic from going faster. For one day, Sonic heard there's trouble in Mobius, whatever One day he wakes up, having realized those are not his shoes that make him go fast. Those are Robotnik shoes to make Sonic go rather slow, forcing him to go very, very slowly as possible. So Dr. Robotnik actually found a way to make Sonic go really slow and force Sonic to go throughout all these areas over and over again until the very end. So our favorite beloved Hedgehog has no choice but to collect all 3 keys before the time limit goes up, and you have to start all over again. To tell you the truth, I never did play this game, but I did hear lots of people say this game is pretty bad, and you have no choice but do exactly the same thing over and over again. There's not much else to say about the background or the music. Music is pretty forgettable as well. So get used to it, folks. You'll be seeing the backgrounds that look exactly the same old stick. I would forgive this game if they made it a bit interesting. But this game already reminds me of Kirby's Course. It's playing as a ball. Sure, you'll fight some bosses that are actually plain and simple, if you know what you're supposed to do. Sure, you'll have different tasks. In this game, you don't have to collect Chaos Emeralds. Thank freaking goodness. That doesn't help much on how much a board this game is, or everything will look exactly the same as they are. Okay, never mind, you do get the emeralds from the bosses. You still jump on platforms and other things like that. You pretty much know where this is going. But a big huge disappointment of this game is how you will get both endings. The good and bad endings. If you beat the game 100%, you'll get the good ending. Overall, Sonic Ramblink is not the best game out there. It's pretty much bad. And so I give it a 2 out of 10 from low effort and low quality and how slow he goes. Next up is Sonic the Fighters. And I gotta admit, this game is actually not terrible. I only played it once, and it's actually pretty fun. It's pretty short, but it's actually one of my favorite ones. And you play all the characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, SBO, Mark, Bean, Fang, and Amy. I know what you're thinking. Who are these other characters? Well, basically they are from the comic book, and we're out of time. We'll do this in part 2 in the Sonic like 4 games collection, and I'll explain the rest of it in the next video. So catch you in part 2 in the Sonic Collection game. Bye.